for the children of our land. Let's stand together. Let's walk hand in hand. There's one mission, one goal in our minds. It's the children of our land.
Welcome to A Night of Hope. I'm your host, Alvin Shia. We're so glad you decided to join us as we celebrate the work that Saving Our Orphans has been doing over the last 15 years. We hope you're encouraged, uplifted, and compelled to support this valuable organization. We have some amazing music planned, but first, let's learn a little bit about Saving Our Orphans.
There's a time in the Christian walk when God simply says, go, and there's no discernible pathway, just a raging Jordan River or the Red Sea. That was how the ministry of saving orphans through healthcare and outreach began. That is how SOHO came into being. It was answering a call to serve a population of orphans and vulnerable children in the small kingdom of Swaziland, now known as Eswatini, with the highest HIV and AIDS prevalence in the world. There was no organized mission, no financial backing, just desperate need. Today, 15 years later, the window of opportunity has widened more than ever before because of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and other factors that I will share with you. I've told you about the miraculous provision of God for SOHO over the years. Thousands of children have been served. We have conducted mobile clinics and distributed clothing and vital resources throughout Eswatini. We've provided services at our care point, established one of the few schools to include children with disabilities, and most recently, we've acquired, by God's grace, a 1,075 plus acre mountain farm on which we trust God to help establish a children's village where orphans and vulnerable children at risk of human trafficking can have a safe home, education, and loving care in a Christian environment. The prospect of what God can do is exciting, but it takes all of us working together. Together we can beef up the existing program to serve more children at our schools and at our center. And in Saba, the mountain farm can become a beacon of light to the entire country. It all depends on us. So let us work towards this. Let us pray for this. Let us seize this divine opportunity to change the future for children who have so little hope.
As you can see, Saving Our Orphans has made a lifelong commitment to improve the quality of the lives for the children of Eswatini by providing education, housing, basic health care. Tonight, as you enjoy this concert in the comfort of your home, consider what you can do to help improve the life of a child through this organization. Please get ready now for Roxana Pavel, Soul Thirst, Black Voices, and Anika Anderson.
To be proud, still I'm not allowed to speak and know I'm being heard. It seems rather strange, some things never change, some lessons they never get learned. I've come a long ways since back in the days when cotton was king. The heartache remains from the storms I've been through, and right now I'm black and blue. I stayed on my knees, I cried and I grieved. It's hard to forgive and forget, but memories don't die, and I'm still asking why would people treat people like that? God looks at my skin, I'm lovely to him. He made me and said it was good, but people still judge. It's so sad, but it's true. God knows why I'm black and blue. I've nothing to gain by shifting the blame. I'm saying at last, let the past be the past. But while there's strength in my bones, I will journey on. But I'm not naive. I still do believe that the last will be first, the servant be served. We're all bound to reap what we sow. When love finally wins, someday hatred will lose. Till then I'll be black and blue. One day love will win, someday hatred will lose. But I'll still be black, but I'll no longer be blue. Yeah. The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The further you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can't deny me, you can't decide to turn your face away. No matter how, something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride had gone, oh no. Something inside so strong, wow. Something inside so strong. Do you hear me now? The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. of Jericho. Your lies will come tumbling. Deny my place in time. You'll squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine. Yes, it will.
Something inside so strong.
Yeah.
I know that I can make it. Doing me wrong, so wrong. But my pride had gone.
But my pride had gone. No.
Something inside so strong.
So strong, yeah. Something inside so strong. Hear me, brothers and sisters. They insist we're not good enough.
Yes, we are. Yes, you are.
Yeah. When we know better,
Just look and say
we're gonna do it.
we're gonna do it anyway.
I'll make it.
We're gonna do it anyway.
Do you hear me?
Something inside so strong.
So strong. Yeah.
Doing me wrong,
So wrong. You thought my pride had gone. So I know, you know, we know.
something inside
Oh,
so strong.
yeah.
Inside so strong.
So strong. So strong. Yeah, yeah. So strong. Hey.
Da, 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 do, da. Something inside.
Something
inside.
so strong, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So strong.
Oh,
Something inside.
oh, yeah.
Something inside.
I feel it way down, yeah, yeah. Oh, so strong. Hey,
Something inside.
oh, yeah.
Something inside.
Something inside, so strong. Hear me now, hear me now. Ooh.
Something inside.
Oh, yeah.
Something
So strong. Oh, yeah, yeah. So strong, yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he is traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring back beauty to a world abroad, if I can spread lost faces
Hi, this is Bruce Smith, and I would like to take a moment to celebrate with SOHO for their 15 years that they have been operating in Swaziland, which is now Eswatini, in helping at-risk youths in a very harsh environment. Most recently, I've had the opportunity to also serve as the board chairman. Cynthia and her team have worked tirelessly over the past 15 years to make a difference in children who are at risk. They have been at risk in terms of lack of education, at risk for disease, at risk in terms of sex trafficking. Overall, they're at risk of becoming yet another statistic of having grown up in an environment that is not conducive to a life filled with love, happiness, and the hope of a bright future that most all of us enjoy on a daily basis. SOHO has provided a haven in parts of Eswatini region for the consistency of food and early childhood education. They have stood for a beacon of safety in a land that can be very harsh and volatile. Recently, SOHO took on the mantle of an even larger and more challenging opportunity in procuring 1,000 acres in a land called Insaba in Swatini, where the goal is to provide food, education, shelter, and a greater ability to serve these children that are at risk. The work is difficult, especially of late, given the impact of COVID that's been worldwide and certainly in Swatini. But the reward of delivering to God our Father remains the mission to help these children at risk. If the next 15 years can be as bountiful as the past 15 years, the bend in the arc of these at-risk youths will have been greatly altered, thanks to the SOHO organization, the donating public, and of course, the deliverance by the hand of God our Father. So I'd like to wrap with a happy birthday to SOHO, and may the victories continue to be won during the next 15 years.
Not scared to say it, I used to be the one preaching it to ya, that you could overcome. I still believe it, but it ain't easy, 'cause that world I painted, where things just all work out, it started changing, and I started having doubts, and it got me so down. But I picked myself back up, and I started telling me, no, my God's not done making me a masterpiece. He's still working on me. He started something good, and I'm gonna believe it. He started something good, and he's gonna complete it. So I celebrate the truth. His work in me ain't through. I'm just unfinished. Ooh, I'm just unfinished. Ooh, so I celebrate the truth. His work in me ain't through. I'm just unfinished.
Hi, my name is Arthur Perino. This is my daughter, Noelle. And in 2005, I traveled with SOHO to Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. Going there, I had no expectations of what I was going to find or see or experience. It completely broke my heart for the children. So many children without a family, without adults who could hold them and love them and show them nurture and kindness. And they were absolutely starving for it. We would go from village to village, and the children would materialize from nowhere. Suddenly there would just be tons of children around you. And, you know, the amount of joy that they experienced from just simple kindness, some attention, a hug. Those are the things that truly broke my heart. It was pretty much at that point that I knew God, through SOHO, had a bigger plan for me than I ever thought that I would have for myself. Once I returned back to the United States, it took a lot of patience and a lot of time and a little prayer. Eventually, the path that God set for us brought Noel and us together as a family. There are tens of thousands of millions of children all over that area that will never get to experience that because of HIV and AIDS and the amount of trafficking and abuse. And I think anything that you can do to bring just one moment of kindness to a child who hasn't experienced that will change your life and will change their life forever. And that's what SOHO is dedicated to doing, changing the lives of these children, changing their trajectory, changing their future.
I couldn't imagine what life would be like without the family I have now.
And I never want to imagine. And I hope no one ever has to.
Please welcome Cheetans.
Deep within the heart has always known that there is freedom. Somehow breathe into the very soul of life. The prisoner, the powerless, the slave have always known it. There's something that keeps reaching for the sky. And even life begins because a baby fights for freedom. And songs we love to sing have freedom's theme. Some have walked through fire and flood to find a place of freedom. And some faced hell itself for freedom's dream. Let freedom ring wherever minds know what it means to be in chains. Let freedom ring wherever hearts know pain. And let freedom echo through the lonely streets where prisons have no key. You can be free and you can see. Let freedom ring. Oh, let freedom ring. God built freedom into every fiber of creation, and He meant for us to all be free and whole. Free and whole. But when my Lord bought
down through the ages from a hill called Calvary. Let freedom ring wherever hearts know pain, hearts know pain. Let freedom echo through the lonely streets where presence have no key. You can be free and you can sing. Let freedom ring and let freedom echo through the lonely streets where prisons have no key. You can be free and you can sing. Let freedom ring. We can be free and we can sing. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring.
Here is Amari.
Sometimes I feel disappointed. I'm overwhelmed by this hole of darkness. Fear has won the battle. Whoa, I made from deep within. Light doesn't need much to beam through the hurt.
Where there's always hope, we don't need to heed to fears that brought us here. That's why there is God. Oh, our Father, it's cold down here. Fill me with your light, for these walls are closing in. Fear has won the battle. I came from deep within. Light doesn't need much to beam through the hurt. Where there's always hope, we don't need to heed to fears that brought us here. That's why there is God. Where there's always hope, we don't need to heed to fears that brought us here. That's why there is God. Oh, trust will blow through. Oh, God. Oh, do 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 do.
presenting Naledi Masilo.
Back when I had a little, I thought that needed a lot. A little was overrated, but a lot was a little too complicated. See, zero didn't satisfy me, a million didn't make me happy. That's when I learned a lesson, that it's not about your possessions. Hey, are you a papa or a superstar? So you act, so you feel, so you are. Ain't about the size of your car, it's about the size of the faith in your heart. There's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. You know that there's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile. And you don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. In the backcountry of Brazil, I met a young brother that made me feel like I could accomplish anything. You see, just like me, he wanted to sing. He had no windows and no doors. He lived a simple life and was extremely poor. Top of all of that, he had no eyesight, but that didn't keep him from seeing the light. He said, "What's it like in the USA?" And all I did was complain. He said, "Living here is paradise." Tell me paradise is in your mind. You know that there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. It don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. You know that there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Anytime I turn on the TV, somebody's acting crazy. I promise that won't drive you crazy, but I'm taking back my power today. Gas prices, they just keep on rising. The government, they keep on lying. But you gotta keep on surviving. Keep living our truth and do the best we can do, 'cause there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. We don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. You know that there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There is hope. So did it, oh, so don't let it day. Oh, there is hope. Stand up for your rights, keep shining your light, and show the world your smile. Stand up for your rights, keep shining your light, and show the world your smile. Stand up for your rights, keep shining your light, and show the world your smile. Stand up for your rights, keep shining your light, and show the world your smile. Stand up for your rights, keep shining your light, and show the world your smile. Just stand up for your rights, keep shining your light, and show the world your smile.
Get ready for Brendan and Mpumi.
story is my fingerprint in the valley. There is confidence in the shadows. I will be your strength. One thing's for sure, I am your Lord. Yes, I am.
Through the chaos, I will be your joy. When you're finished, I have so much more in the waiting. I'm an open door, stand still and know I am your Lord. There'll be times when you're up and times when you're down. I'm never too far. Just look around and you'll find me. I'm by your side, arms open wide. I am good, you are loved. Oh, I am good, you are loved.
For what was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. What was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. I am good, you are loved. I am good, you are loved. There'll be times when you're up and times when you're down. I'm never too far. Just look around and you'll find me. I'm by your side, arms open wide. I am good, you are loved. I am good, you are loved.
SOHO's programs are geared to develop a culture of hope, integrity, resourcefulness, contentment, and productivity. The children and youth rely on faith in God to enable them to achieve their full potential and to become contributing members of the community and the country. Now, please welcome Verona Pillay.
Up early in the morning, when I hear the birds singing, it sounds like freedom. You'll be good to me. Even late
going through, but I want you to know nobody can stand against the name of Jesus that's higher above every other name. So I want to declare, and I want to ask with attitude, because we know who is for us. We know who is for us. We want to lift it up. We want to say, oh, tell me, somebody tell me, who can stand before us when we call on that great name. That name is Jesus. I want you to sing Jesus. Lift up your hands and declare it, Jesus. All over this place, it's Jesus. In Him we have the
I would like to share my story with all of you as to how SOHO has helped me. I met SOHO when I was in grade 7, and they really helped me quite a lot. I was experiencing a lot of problems in my life. My mom wasn't able to provide for my school fees, and my dad left us, so she didn't know what to do. So since my dad neglected us, we were facing a lot of problems. I was going to do my high school, and it needed quite a lot of money. So my mom was stressed, and so was I. We couldn't do much, so we needed help. SOHO came to our rescue, and they helped us. They paid my school fees for Form 1, Form 2, and they've also paid for my Form 3. I must just say, I'm a very brilliant student. I work hard and progress in life. I have a lot of dreams. I have hopes. I plan to help my mom to free her from all financial problems and the stress she is experiencing right now. I want to improve her standard of living and to make her feel better and proud. I want to be her honor and pride. And SOHO is my way. Without SOHO, I wouldn't have made it till here. And there's been a lot going on here in Eswatini. I'm one of the students who is free, carefree, and I don't seem to have any problem in life. Since I'm doing well in academically, I don't have to stress about money. I don't have to stress about my school fees not being paid.
This next sacred moment is an old hymn, Lisa Lezidenga, that the church leaders who formed the African National Congress adopted while they were a church movement for liberation. These lyrics were a guiding principle they prayed would govern justice for South Africa. In English, they mean, fulfill your promise, Lord our truthful God, that every clan and every nation should attain salvation. Every knee in this land must bow before you, till every tongue will proclaim your glory. Forbid, Lord, that we forsake the teachings of your word, till you revive us to obey your truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Lina Japo.
So
Okay, they are ready, they are ready. My, 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 my. My, 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 my. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Larry Garrity, the President Emeritus of La Sierra University and the past president of SOHO. I had the privilege of working with SOHO for at least 15 years, and especially it was fun to work with its dynamic CEO, Cynthia Prime. I can't imagine anyone who is more of a possibility thinker than she is. And I had the privilege of going to Eswatini with her and seeing up close and firsthand the various projects and institutions and areas that SOHO is making such a difference in. And now we have this wonderful piece of property that has been made available to SOHO, and it's already beginning to make such a difference in the country. I know that the need is still just as great as it ever was, and it's probably increasing. And the only way that it can be resolved and helped is by everyone working together. So that's why it's so heartening to see you involved in the program today. I want to thank you for your involvement, and remember, the need is great, and the only way that it can make a difference is for you to participate. The children of Eswatini are counting on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, SOHO honoree, Beth Nielsen Chapman.
I don't want another heartbreak. I don't need another turn to cry. No, I don't want to learn the hard way. Baby, hello. Oh no, goodbye. But you got me like a rocket, shooting straight across the sky. It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's impossible. This kiss, unstoppable. This kiss. Cinderella said to Snow White, how does love get so off course? Oh, all I wanted was a white knight with a good heart, soft touch, fast horse. Ride me off into the sunset, baby, I'm forever yours. It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's subliminal. This kiss. It's criminal. This kiss. You can kiss me in the moonlight, on a rooftop under the sky. Oh, you can kiss me with the windows open while the rain comes blowing inside. Oh, kiss me in sweet slow motion. Let's let everything slide. You've got me floating. You've got me flying. It's the way you love me. Centrifugal. Oh, yeah. It's the way you love me, baby. The way you love me. It's the way you love me, darling. Yeah. This kiss. Ooh. This kiss. Oh. This kiss.
Presenting Babby Mason.
Praise the Lord, everyone. I'm so happy to be leading you in worship today. Will you just sing this with me? I'm sure you know the words. Let's sing this together. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Oh yes he is. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. If you have a question in the corner of your mind and traces of discouragement and peace you cannot find, reflections of your past seem to face you every day. But this one thing I do know, that Jesus is the way. Oh, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. Oh, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Oh, yes, he is. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. He knows you've got mountains that you think you cannot climb, and he knows your skies are dark and you think the sun won't shine. Well, in case that you don't know, the word of God is so true. I know what he's done for others, he's gonna do it for you. Oh, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. Oh, Jesus is the only answer for the world today. Oh, yes, he is. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. Sing it one more time. Oh, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. Oh, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Oh, yes, he is. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. Oh, Jesus is the way. Jesus is the way. He's the truth and the life. Oh, yes, he is. Jesus is the way. Yes, he's the way, he's the truth, and he is the life. And not only is he the way, he is the way maker. Will you just worship with me? This song has just been in my spirit for weeks now. And every time I sing it, my faith is assured and it's bolstered. And I pray that as you sing it, that it will do the same for you. Let's sing this together. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. Oh yes, I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Oh, I love this. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. We got to sing it one more time. Come on, sing Waymaker. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Yes. Come on, praise the Lord with me. That's right, give him a great big praise offering. He's worthy, he's worthy, he's worthy of all the praise.
Get ready for Aeolians.
Hello everyone. Crazy times, huh? On March 11th, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. And it seems as if the world has come to a screeching halt. And in times like these, it's natural for everyone to be anxious and scared and not really sure of the future. There's a song that got us through one period in time, and I believe that same song can get us through this period. So from my family, the aliens, and myself, we just simply want to say, hold on, let's keep each other in prayer. And at the end of this, we can say we use this time to reset, to relax, and to recalibrate and become more connected with the community. It's such a beautiful thing. I've seen more of my neighbors in these last few weeks than I've ever seen. So hold on, and we'll get through this together.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall live in peace.
Please welcome Sonia Sampson.
They say this mountain can't be moved. They say these chains will never break. But they don't know you like we do. There is power in your name. We've heard that there is no way through. We've heard the tide will never change. They haven't seen what you can do. There is power in your name. So much power in your name. Move the unmovable, break the unbreakable. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. From the impossible, we'll see a miracle. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. We know that hope is never lost, for there is still an empty grave. God, we believe no matter what, there is power in your name. So much power in your name. Move the unmovable, break the unbreakable. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. From the impossible, we'll see a miracle. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. You are the way when there seems to be no way. We trust in you, God, you have the final say. You are the way when there seems to be no way. We trust in you, God, you have the final say. Move the unmovable, break the unbreakable. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. From the impossible, we'll see a miracle. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. God, we believe for it. You said, I believe. You said, it is done. You said, I believe. You said, it is done. God, we believe for it.
The state of humanity has flowed in and out of compassion and conflict for centuries. During a time of conflict in the United States, brothers James and John Johnson came together and composed Lift Every Voice and Sing. First written as a poem in 1900, put to music in 1905, it's now considered to be the Black national anthem in America. Now, as we celebrate our victories, we also honor the struggle it took to get here. When we lift our voices and our hearts, we can effectuate real change. Please welcome Committed.
Da should resound as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. March on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn has died, yet with a steady beat and not our weary feet come to the place from which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughter, out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk of the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our God, true to our native land, true to our native land.
Let us pray. In our praise and in our silence, in our songs and in our words, we have worshiped you today, O God. And through the amazing gifts that you have poured out upon us, through your dedicated musicians and other participants here today, we have acknowledged you as the one who has called us out of various nations and distant continents to be a part of your unique ministry to bring healing and hope to the orphans of Swaziland. And so on this auspicious occasion of the 15th anniversary of this ministry, of saving orphans through healthcare and outreach, we have gathered in spirit and truth to remember how you have led us in the past and to reaffirm our confidence in you and your wisdom and power to lead us into the future. And thus we recommit ourselves to this mission to which you have called us. And now we ask you to bless those on the front lines of this mission. We ask you to bless those who serve on the leadership boards of this organization, both in SOHO and HOSA. We ask you to bless those who give out of the abundance of their resources and through the sincerity of their prayers. But most of all, we ask you to bless the children. For you have told us that only as we become like them, in our simple faith and trust in you, can we enter the kingdom of heaven. Amen.
Wow, what an extraordinary array of talent. Amazing. Let us continue to work together to mend brokenness, open closed doors of opportunity, inspire future vision, and build inner strength around the world. On behalf of SOHO, thank you for your support. Good night.
Let's stand together. Let's walk hand in hand. Let our voice be heard loud and clear for the children of our land. Let's stand together. Let's walk hand in hand. There's one mission, one goal in our minds. It's the children of our land.
There's a truth worth standing for, a hope that should never ever die. The children are a future. This is a mother's cry. There's a truth worth standing for, a hope that should never ever die. The children are a future. This is a mother's cry.
Let's stand together. Let's walk hand in hand. Let our voice be heard loud and clear for the children of our land. Let's stand together. Let's walk hand in hand. There's one mission, one goal in our minds for the children of our land.
There's a truth worth standing for, a hope that should never ever die. The children are our future. This is a mother's cry. There's a truth worth standing for, a hope that should never die. The children are our future. This is a mother